ISF and strategic trade, navigating import compliance. Welcome back to our video series on customs brokerage and international trade. In today's episode, we're going to deep dive into the topic of importer security filing, also known as ISF, and how it affects goods subject to strategic trade controls. So, grab a notebook and let's get started. Before we dive into the details, let's quickly recap what importer security filing is all about. ISF is a requirement by the U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) for importers to provide specific information about the cargo they are importing at least 24 hours before the cargo is loaded onto a vessel destined for the United States. Now, let's talk about how importer security filing affects goods subject to strategic trade controls. Strategic trade controls, also known as export controls, are regulations implemented by various countries to ensure that sensitive goods, technologies, and information do not fall into the wrong hands or are used for purposes that could harm national security or violate international regulations. When it comes to importing goods subject to strategic trade controls, importers must be extra cautious and ensure compliance with both importer security filing requirements and the applicable trade control regulations. Failure to comply with these regulations can result in serious consequences, including fines, penalties, and even legal action. To navigate these regulations successfully, importers should consider working with customs brokers who have expertise in handling goods subject to strategic trade controls. These customs brokers have deep knowledge of the regulations and can assist importers in fulfilling their importer security filing obligations while ensuring compliance with trade control requirements. Additionally, importers should conduct thorough due diligence on their suppliers to ensure they are reputable and compliant with trade control regulations. It's crucial to understand the nature of the goods being imported, any licensing or authorization requirements, and if the goods are subject to any specific controls or restrictions. The importer security filing process for goods subject to strategic trade controls may require additional information to be provided to the CBP. This could include details about the end use of the goods, their technical specifications, and any associated licenses or authorizations. It's important for importers to gather and provide this information accurately and in a timely manner. It's worth noting that the CBP and other government agencies responsible for enforcing trade control regulations may conduct audits and inspections to ensure compliance. Importers must maintain accurate records of their importer security filing submissions and associated supporting documentation for a specified period, typically 5 years. In conclusion, importer security filing is a critical component of the import process, particularly for goods subject to strategic trade controls. Importers must diligently fulfill their ISF obligations and adhere to the relevant trade control regulations to avoid penalties and maintain compliance with national and international laws. That's all for today's deep dive into how importer security filing affects goods subject to strategic trade controls. We hope you found this information valuable. If you have any questions or need further assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to a customs broker or trade expert. Thank you for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for our upcoming videos, where we'll cover more fascinating topics related to customs brokerage, customs bonds, and international trade. Until then, happy importing!